Bam, chicka, wah, wah. You've got the bread, you've got the butter, bit of lettuce, a little bit of ham, and there's no lid on it. Do you know what I mean? He needs to put a lid on it to stop the rage from coming out. Go Farah, go ye. Hello, hello, hello friends. Welcome to another spoiler-filled vlog. And today, I say today, it was yesterday, we started Acca Math. And boy do I already have thoughts. Let's review. So, we are now going into chapter 14. So we are reading about 60 pages a day, I think, something like that. I have so many thoughts. So many thoughts. So, at the end of the last book, let's just give a little rundown of my thoughts and theories and feelings and on the last book. So, I left Akata thinking Tamlin was great and Rhysand was a little bit of an ass, but a cheeky ass, and might potentially have some redeemable qualities, and maybe might have possibly started to have some kind of potential feelings near the end of the first book for Farah. So my thought was, I was hoping at that point she wasn't going to cheat on Tamlin with Rhys if she did develop feelings for him, and that if anything was to happen with Rhys, I hate the cheating trope, just putting it out there. I just thought that, like, if anything was going to happen with Rhysand, it was because she broke things off with Tamlin, and do you know what I mean? Like, she made a choice and she chose him before anything happened. So that was my thought, and I thought that what had happened was not what I expected in some respects. So in the first like 22 pages there was a bam chicka wah wah scene. I'll let you with me if I misbehave. I knew that I've been told that this book was a bit more steamy. In the first 22 pages, Sarah J. Maas, so we're really doing this. Yes, she did it. And it wasn't like overly steamy, but it was kind of like, oh, okay, so we're starting off with a punch. Almost immediately, I took a disliking to Tamlin, because I can totally understand. I can understand that he wants to protect his partner. She went through an ordeal in Akata. She went through a lot. They've all been through a lot. But the possessiveness of Tamlin is just ridiculous. And even Lucian, although he is loyal, like a little puppy, like a little dog, to Tamlin, he can see the benefits of Farah being allowed, why is that thing? Being allowed to get out and about. She lost her life, she actually died. I fully understand this. And if it was me and my family, I would want to protect them with my life. But he has gone far too far with this, like way overboard, to a point where it's becoming toxic. You could be protective of a person without becoming possessive and without your relationship becoming toxic. And you could tell he was kind of, in the first book there were hints of him being a protective kind of person, which I fully understood and fully appreciate, but it's gone past that now, and it's got to a point where I'm just concerned that he's just gonna flip his lid. Even if what had happened in the first couple of chapters, because we read like to chapter 6 or the end of chapter 5 yesterday, and I've read up to chapter 14, well, to the end of chapter 13 today. Even if what had happened in the first 5 chapters hadn't have happened, when she was expressing herself, trying to open up emotionally to her partner about feeling drowned and suffocated, and just you know, communicating like people do in relationships. He blew his shit. I mean, why? What the frick? I mean, I know it's a fear, but the anger and the fact that it scared her that much that she put a shield around herself that she didn't know she had the ability to do in order to protect herself from his rage. And had she not done that, she would have been injured. And her being like, oh God, he said he was gonna try, and I'm like, this just gives me serious, like domestic, it sounds very dramatic, but it's kind of like domestic abuse. If she hadn't have shielded herself, he would have physically hurt her because he got angry. And it just reminds me of those scenes you see in films, like the guy hits the woman because she made him angry and he's sorry and he'll never do it again. That is Tamlin. That is actually Tamlin, and it is disturbing. So disturbing. And Lucian, as loyal as Lucian is to Tamlin, and as powerful as Tamlin is, he should know that that is wrong, and he should have stood up to Tamlin a little bit more. It's just all very conspiratorial. Is that a word? Is that a thing we're saying? Is that what I mean? Possibly. They are complicit by not expressly saying, you're being a bit of a dick. More of a bit of a dick. Like a huge penis on your head is sticking. Oh God, Jesus Christ almighty. And then the darkness was around her, and then more came and helped her, and now we're at a situation where she's fled, kind of fled. She said it's only going to be for a couple of days, but is it really? Is she ever going to go back? We do not know. So, I'm kind of understanding why this is called A Court of Mist and Fury. Well, this is my thoughts around the name of the book. Not that this is going to be of any consequence. However, the Court of Mist and Fury, she has been getting very angry, hasn't she? And she's got ice and fire, so fury, and the mist is the darkness that she surrounded herself in when she was screaming, and when Tamlin locked her in the house, locked her in with a shield, a protective shield, so that everyone else can exit and enter the premises, but she can't. So that would have been it for me. I'd have been like, no, that's not love. That's some next level shit that I don't want to be involved in. So when Moore came in to get her, I was like, yay, Reese is looking out for her. And she knows, you could tell she knows that Reese does not want to hurt her and literally wants her to be able to protect herself. But then Tamlin's like, oh, he's trying to get in your brain and blah. I'm sorry, but if someone wanted to teach me how to protect myself with powers that I just got after dying, changing from being a mortal to an immortal person, and I had these things flowing through me that I needed to control, and someone was offering to help me with that, I would take up their help. Who wouldn't? Would you? I would, because yes, she is as Tamlin said, she's a liability because she doesn't know how to control her power, but because he's being a possessive freak, she's not given the chance to hone her powers and train in order to be able to control them. Do you see? Do you see where we're going with this? Do you see? Is it normal for people to act like this? I don't understand how anyone can like Tamlin after the first part of this book, and I have no idea how the frick he's gonna respond when he finds out she's gone. Is he gonna blame Reese? Because I like the fact that Reese didn't go full gung-ho, breaking the treaty, the rules that they've got, where they can't just sort of go in and take another person, and then we did a workaround so that, he's trying to keep the peace. He might be a sarcastic, cheeky, arrogant, egotistical being, but he has a heart and he clearly cares for Farah, and not in a currently This may change, not currently in a possessive way. It's kind of showing this yin-yang kind of situation. The yin is the arsehole that has now become what Tamlin is. He says he loves her, but does he really? Or is she just a possession? And they don't communicate verbally. She's even said that the best way they communicate is physically, and that is not a healthy relationship. Can we say it again, people? Not a healthy relationship. So the fact that they can only really communicate physically, and yes, it may be the best sex she's ever had, but if you cannot verbally communicate with your partner, then that is not a balanced relationship. And if anyone thinks otherwise, you're wrong. Just saying it. Sue me. No, don't, because I can't afford it. I've said this before. Please don't sue me. Genuinely can't afford it. So, yes, Tamlin is the yin and the possessive, overprotective person who loves, we're going to say that now, loves her. And then you've got Rhysand, who actually cares for her, or seemingly cares for her, who wants to protect her by helping her protect herself. And the fact that Tamlin hasn't noticed or seems to not really care that she's losing weight, that she's looking haggard, and do you know what I mean? Like, there seems that he doesn't seem to care about that. It's kind of disturbing. More than kind of disturbing, it's very disturbing. And again, just leads me to believe that he's not all there. He's not a full shilling. He's not a full loaf of bread. Do you know what I mean? Not fully, but he's not a full sandwich. He's kind of like a half sandwich. Do you know what I mean? You've got the bread, you've got the butter, bit of lettuce, a little bit of ham, and there's no lid on it. Do you know what I mean? He needs to put a lid on it to stop the rage from coming out. That is a crap analogy. I'm leaving that in, and I don't care if you think I'm crazy. Anyway, we're at a point now where we just need to find out what's going on with Tamlin and Lucian. Are they going to blame Rhys? Are they going to go looking for her? Are they going to try and force her to go back to the Spring Court? Because they are not yet married. I loved how he pulled her out of the marriage before it went ahead. So yes, they don't even have a mate bond. That's another thing as well. They don't even have a mating bond. The fact that hasn't developed, a little bit strange. This is my first clip in the Akatar reading vlog, and I'm gonna say this, but I'll probably go back on what I've said. Yeah, this should be the longest clip, potentially, maybe, possibly, probably, but depending on how many thoughts I have about the rest of the book, it may not possibly be the case. Never mind, it is what it is. All I can say is, if you watch my videos, you will know that you always need a brew and a snack for my vlogs, because they are generally never less than 25 minutes. You know what I mean? You know, just take time. My vlogs are self-care. Do you know what I mean? That's what it is. My vlogs are self-care to you. Take a half an hour out, listen to a northern person ramble about books. Please tell me, are you a Tamlin or Rhys kind of gal or guy? Because I have so many thoughts. My noggin is all burned out right now. However, I am doing another buddy read, another 2 buddy reads. So I have to go and read my pages of Caraval and Ship of Magic before I go to bed tonight. Ship of Magic. Oh no, it's not, it's Mad Ship, innit? It's Mad Ship. And that is also another book that is full of toxic people. It's a madness. Every single book that I'm reading lately is a madness. I love it. Malice, Akamas, Mad Ship, chaos, war, violence, death, magic, impeccable writing as well. If all books could take leaves out of John Gwynne's Sarah J Maas and Robin Hobb's book, please do so. Anyway, this is an Akamas vlog, not an update for my reading vlog. That is coming separately, so I will see it in a bit. I will update you when I've next read these 3 pages. I'm jumping in here quickly on what the hell? On Tuesday to say today's been a very weird day. I have read my pages, but I've had a migraine all day, but I don't want to get behind on my buddy reads, so I've read them later on, the pages later on in the day, if that makes any sense. Does that make sense? I'm not English. But yeah, I've read my pages of Akamath, and it is getting so interesting. We've now been introduced to Cassian and Azrael and some weird being. Don't know who she is. Not sure if I trust her. I don't know. Can't remember the name. It begins with A, but I'm very tired right now. I'm very intrigued to see where it goes. We're at a point where they're going to underneath the mountain, and we're going to find out what that means, who they're meeting, and what effect it's going to have on the rest of the book. Azrael is not what I expected. He's very straight-laced, and when they were saying that, like, they were introducing Reese's friends or people he classed as family, I expected them all to be, I knew that they wouldn't all be the same as him, because that would make the whole thing boring, but I thought they'd have like similar personalities. But Cassian has a wild personality, and Azrael's kind of like the somber, serious one of the group. And then we've got Mort, who is the obviously loyal but more like light-hearted, but has demons, I think, that we are yet to find out about. And my battery's dying, so I will update you when I read some more tomorrow. Hello, friends. So, I didn't do an update on Akamath, so first off, where do I start? Where did we leave off? So, the fact that Feyre's not going back, she's now decided she's not going back to Tamlin, is kind of scary, because based on how he acted when she just expressed how she was feeling, kind of make me a bit nervous about what his reaction is going to be, what he's going to do. Is he secretly going to try and steal her back? All that jazz. So there's that. Cassian, Azrael, we've now met them, and I can tell you, I'm not disappointed yet. Azrael's very mysterious, he's broody, he's very solemn, he's also very protective, clearly, of the people that he has grown up with, that have been there for him. There's always one wild child type situation and one more somber, dark, broody type person, and that's just Cassian and Azrael. They're not like blood brothers, but obviously after everything they've been through, they do class each other as brothers, which I think is pretty cute, pretty sweet, pretty wholesome, apart from the fact that they kill people. So they're not all that wholesome, but you know what I mean. Then we've got, I keep forgetting a name, the scary one that drinks blood. Amarin? I keep forgetting a name. So the scary woman that drinks blood, I don't know whether she's going to continue to be a friend or she's going to turn into a foe. Yet to be decided, to be determined. The king of, or the ruler of the summer court now, he seems to be quite infatuated. Well, not infatuated, infatuated is the wrong word. He seems to really like Feyre, but I don't know what whether it's just because he thinks she's beautiful, he's trying to win her over, or if he has got some kind of underhand situation going on. I'm just used to people in books betraying people, so I don't want to become too attached to characters or like them too much to then be totally betrayed by them. So we don't know about her yet, but the sexual tension between Rhys and Feyre, I'm just like, stop with the whole breathing deeply near each other and looking each other up and down and getting so close they can like feel each other's breath just friggin' kiss and just do the bound chicka wow wow.
That where I come from is called doing the hibbity dibbity.
The angst is killing me. It's killing me. Obviously the bond between Rhys and Feyre is growing. He is telling her more things. she's now realising that Tamlin's kind of love is not the kind of love she wants. And I love the fact, well, I know it's a bit late, but the fact that she sort of acknowledged that Tamlin, her love for Tamlin, although she does believe that she loved him, it was very much a case of she fell in love with the first person that showed her affection and cared for her, which is what I said. And then I read it in the book that she said it. Same thoughts though, same thoughts. Yeah, it's just, I'm glad that she's realised that. I'm glad that she's realising that Tamlin locked her up, and she does have resentful feelings about that, and you know, she's trying to work through that, so I like that. And we're now at a point where Hybern's come in, they're preparing for war, they're trying to get all the other courts and these books to stop this cauldron from being able to be used, because they realise Feyre is the key to stopping it, which, you know, YA, there's always a chosen one in there, and Feyre's become that chosen one, coincidentally, because she died and all the High Lords brought her back to life. They couldn't have just left it that, could they? They were just like, nope. She's now got everybody's powers inside her, and she's trying to work out how to use them. I'm just intrigued, I'm loving it, ready to just consume the whole book, but I can't, because that would be wrong, because I'm doing a buddy read. But if it wasn't for me doing a buddy read, I would have consumed this whole book in one sitting probably, or two maybe, but I would have read it all by now, because everything's just this. Off topic, this is not a Caraval vlog, but the same with Caraval. I'd have just consumed it all in one, because I'm just loving it. So yes, August is starting off to be a good month. My predictions. Shall we do some predictions about this? So I think Rhys and Feyre are going to spend a few more chapters being a bit angsty. She's going to admit she's jealous, he's going to admit he's jealous. Meh, 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 meh. And then they're going to get on. They're going to get it on. And then, just as she's about to be happy, I think Tamlin's going to turn up and be like, I'm taking back my bride. Even though she's now sent him a letter saying, I left on my own accord. Is that going to vex him more? Because she chose to leave him. And not only did she choose to leave him, she chose to leave him to go to Rhysand. Initially, it was because he was protecting her. And although obviously there was still that attraction there, obviously, a lot of it was because he treated her like an adult, accepted that she had exceptional powers, but he's trying to, you could say use her, but allow her to be involved in the war by using her powers and trying to hone them. So rather than locking her, I can't get my head around the fact that he locked her in a freaking mansion and said that was love, and he was doing it to protect her. It's just deluded, it's just so deluded. Cassian and Nesta, I'm excited to see where this goes and when this happens between them, because obviously I've heard of A Course Over Flames is their book, so obviously I know at some point they get together, but at the moment she hates Faye, so I would love to know how she turns that around, how they turn that around, how he works his charm on her, and she decides to have some kind of 180 about Faye. And poor Elaine, she's just scared. She's a scared little bean, but she was the one that basically said, yes, come in, we will talk to you. Whereas Nesta was initially like, no, I'm not going to talk to you about it, we're not going to help you. Elaine sort of talked it around. It's all very intriguing. I'm just waiting for the penny to drop, for the shit to hit the fan. Something's going to happen. Obviously, it's the second book in a series. Not everything's going to work out hunky-dory. Something's going to happen. There's going to be another 180 where Feyre's back in trouble again, or near death, or I don't know, Tamlin's going to try and steal her back and lock her up again. And some law is going to, although Rhys tried to do it by the book, because he didn't step onto Tamlin's land and take Feyre, or guide her out of the, or ask her to leave with him. It was more that did it. Yeah, so they got around it that way. I'm just waiting for someone to say, yes, but there's this rule that says this, that you've done this, and everything's gonna go to shit. But right now, this moment in time, I'm just waiting for Tamlin to come out of the woodwork. There's still going to be a couple more chapters of angst. And I don't mind a little bit of angst, but this angst has been building now for 32 chapters. And I'm not about this life, you know? Just get on. Just go. Anyway, I will update you when there's something else to update you on. Hi guys, hi. So I'm just popping in here to give you a quick update so far on Akamath. I've not been updating you as much as I should have been doing really. So I've literally just got to the point where Feyre's found out that she's she's Rhysand's mate, and he's literally just spent the whole of chapter 54 explaining the whole situation, and oh my god, I died. I cried. I felt so many emotions. I honestly don't understand why I have not read this series before now. Okay, so the whole build up to this was not what I expected. I did not expect him to say that she was his mate, even though now I think about it, earlier on she did mention that, I'm sure it was like she mentioned she didn't have a mating bond with anyone. It wasn't a mating bond, or she didn't know whether what her and Tamlin had was a mating bond, I think. I don't know, it was something like that near the beginning of the book when she talked about Tamlin. I didn't expect that to come out. Obviously I knew they had a connection, but I just thought it was because they slowly started getting to know each other. There was obviously the initial sexual attraction there, and he'd helped her out so much, and I just thought it was Feyre coming to the realisation that he did all these things for her and that he cared for her. So for me, I was just, the whole mating bond thing just came right out of left field. I did not expect that whatsoever. Mor and Asriel, just so cute. I want Mor to admit that she's got feelings for Asriel, because clearly there's something there. But the overall bond and the friendship that you've got between the whole group of them, so good. It's just, I don't know what else to say. I almost had a heart attack when Feyre and Amren went to get the frigging book, half of the book from the summer court, and almost died. And then the race saved them, the water race saved them. I was waiting for when that was going to come round and she was going to need their help. So obviously that was the time when they were paying her back for helping them out right at the beginning, when she gave them the jewels at the tithe. I don't know where this is gonna go. This is book 2. I'm just in awe. I don't know what to do, what to think. I'm just so confused, but also happy. I don't know where they're gonna go from here. When Rhys got hit with the ashes, through the wings with the ash-covered arrows, with the ash arrows, more of Feyre's powers came in. You know, she was able to winnow when she was feeling all that anger. I think the serial was a bit of an arse to let it go, let it out that they were mates. Overall, I'm really loving it. I'm so excited to see what's going to happen next. So what I'm going to do is finish the rest of the pages that I've got for today. So I've just finished chapter 54. I've got chapters 55 to 57. So I've got 2 more chapters to read for today's section. And I'm thinking, was it chapter 55 that everyone's on about? The chapter? I don't know. But for me, chapter 48, now that was a chapter. And was that the chapter people were on about? I don't know. I need to find out if it is chapter 55 or 48. I will find out in the next lot of reading that I do. So, wish me luck. I've got this much left of the book to read altogether, and I've got the rest of one section today, and I finish it tomorrow. So, praise be Jesus. Wow. So, that was intense. Let me just collect myself. I can't believe she did it. She snapped the bond. What does that mean? Because from what I'm reading, she still doesn't love Tamlin. She still loves Rhysand. And I don't understand what this means. I don't understand what this means. I can't. I did not expect that to happen. I didn't know how the hell they were going to get out of that situation. Tamlin turning on them and betraying the Fae like that. I didn't know how they were going to get around it. I didn't know how they were going to free Cassian and Azriel. Elaine and Nesta turned into Fae, and I'm guessing that's how she ended up getting close. Nesta was getting close to Cassian because they've just winnowed out. I'm on like the last 10 minutes of the audio, but I had to come in and just update on what my feelings were at this particular moment when this thing has just happened, when they've winnowed out. And I think that the others understood why she did what she did, that she didn't mean what she was saying, and that she does love Rhys still and want to be with him, and obviously I knew that something else was going to happen, that it wasn't just going to be a happy ending, because we're on book 2 and there's 3 books in this sort of arc, and then there's a Court of Frost and Starlight, and then a Court of Silver Flames, which is the Nesta and Cassian book. So over this first arc of things, I knew that this wouldn't be the end, but Jesus, Mary and Joseph, I don't know how to feel. I don't know if Tamlin knows that she's faking it. I think I felt it a bit more as well, because I'm listening to the audio as well, and just the cracks in the voices when she's showing emotion, and when she says, like, my voice cracked, and she says something, and she has a dialogue where her voice cracks. This narrator's voice actually cracks, and you can hear the emotion, you can feel the emotion. Such a good narrator, such a good narrator. It's narrated by Jennifer Ikeda, and I'm definitely 100% going to be looking into more books that are narrated by her, because I cannot believe she's so good. But I'm really just, I need to read Akawar. I've heard a lot of people say that that is the least favourite book out of, like, the series, and quite a few people are giving it a low rating. I haven't met anyone or heard of anyone that's given Akawar a higher rating, or as high of a rating as Akatar and Akamath. So I don't know what this situation is going to be, but this is 100%, if not my best book of the year, in my top 3. No doubt about it. 100% my top adult book of the year so far, and it would take a hell of a book to top this, because it is amazing. The writing, the narration, the suspense build up, the plot, the characters. She makes you fall in love with characters, and then switches the narrative and makes you just totally blanks your head. And I'm scared of reading Crescent City now, because I've been told that the emotional roller coaster in that book, and that's just book 1, is absolutely crazy. So I definitely need to read it, because I've pre-ordered the Court of Sky and Breath. Not Court of Sky and Breath. Sky and Breath. Is it Sky and Breath? Sky and Breath, whatever it is. City of Sky and Breath. I don't know what it's called. I can't remember. I've ordered the second book in the Crescent City. I don't know if it's a trilogy, series, whatever. So I definitely need to read Crescent City at some point. I might try and weave it into a TBR next month. But Jesus, Mary, Joseph, Lordy Lord, I am shooketh shook her to my chorus, and I shall be back once I finish the last 10 minutes of this audio. Go Farah, go ye, hi lady, up there that go. Oh my god, I'm so happy. Okay, compose yourself. You're supposed to be a professional reviewer. Oh my god, I cried too early, although it was very emotional, I must say. So Reese does know, and they'd gone to make her the High Lady of the Night Court the night before, and she's glamouring a tattoo on the opposite hand to the one that he broke the bond on. So the bond's not broken. I kind of hoped that it wasn't as simple as that, with it being a mating bond, with it Reese sort of talking earlier about how deep the bond went and that kind of thing. I was kind of hoping that maybe it wasn't so easy to just cut it, do you know what I mean? But so now it's proven that the bond is still there. She's gonna rip them from the inside out, destroy them from the inside out, like a little judge. I don't know what that is. Sneaky little snake. Gonna crawl up inside there. Inside to go. Yay. And Lucian is clearly not falling for that BS, but he is now Elaine's mate and cannot risk anything happening to Elaine or risk doing anything to Farah that would affect what Elaine does, thinks, says in relation to him, because I don't think whatever mating bond they might have, I don't think Elaine would ever forgive him if he hurt Farah. So let's give some predictions for Aka War, shall we? So I think that to round off L trilogy, Reese and Farah are going to end up together at the end. If they don't, I am not reading the rest of the books. I'm going to stamp my feet like a little toddler and not go any further. I don't know if she can, I don't think she'll kill Tamlin. If she does, I'll be very surprised. I think Lucian's going to end up possibly, hopefully, turning against Tamlin so that he can be Elaine's mate. Together, forever, never to part. Do you know what I mean? And then I think Mort and Azriel might end up being a thing. And then you've got Cassian and Nesta. I think this is where their relationship is going to develop. Obviously, previously it's been very much in first person. So I don't know if she's going to continue the book in first person, because now they're all split up. And there's so many different parts to this situation. Is this book going to be a POV, but first person POV? The other book was POV just from Farah's point of view. Is this going to be, until the last one of the last chapters was Reese's POV. I liked that switch. Does that mean Aqua is going to be the same situation? I'm hoping so, because I want to actually see Cassian, I still say Nessie, and then Cassian and Nesta's relationship build and things like that, and I don't know how that's going to be woven into the story. Do you know what I mean? So I hope Auntie dies. I really hope Auntie dies. And Amren is like Farah's sister. She's now created a bond with Farah, but I also think there might be something else behind it. Because she seemed worried for her, but she seemed worried for her in a different way to what Mor did. So Mor now knows that she's their high queen, like she's their queen, their high lady. But the way that her worry came across was more like, yeah, she's a high lady and I need to protect her, but also that's my friend that has gone away. Whereas Amren was a bit more like, she's been taken away, but we need her for something else. I don't know if that's supposed to be that way. Maybe. I don't know. There has to be another twist or turn coming in somewhere. So I think there's going to be another turn that means that Vera's going to find out that she might be needed for something else. Although Reese does love her and, you know, the bond is there, that he was also potentially maybe needing her for another reason. There was another reason behind why he did what he did. I'm going to hate him if that's the case, because that's very manipulative. I'm kind of coming to grips with the fact that it wouldn't be Sarah J. Maas' book if they didn't switch now and again. Didn't switch things up. One thing I hope that doesn't happen is that I'm hoping she doesn't fall back in love with Tamlin. I hope that that's not a thing. If that becomes a thing, I'm going to throw up. Because Tamlin is an arsehole. And the amount of depth in their bond, the fact that even like Fairy said at the beginning, with her and Tamlin, it's very much just physical. They couldn't communicate verbally. So with Reese, it was a lot of sexual tension, but they talked about a lot before they actually got physical. The way that they've made a point of this mating bond being so strong, it would be pretty ridiculous, I think, for it to switch now, for it to suddenly fall for Tamlin again. I don't know. However, 5 out of 5, 10 out of 10, would recommend, highly recommend this series so far. I'm just hoping it doesn't take a drastic downfall. One thing I will say is I am preparing myself for Court of Frost and Starlight to be very mediocre. Even if Akawar is good, not one person I have spoken to or seen who have read this like novella in between the two trilogy arcs, not one of them have said that there was any real point in Akavas. So we'll see. I'm just hoping Akawar, even if it doesn't hit the Akamath status, it at least stays Akatar status. I'm just hoping that it stays in that 5-star realm and doesn't dip, because we don't like dippage. We don't. That last couple of chapters was a roller coaster of emotions. Life is a roller coaster, just gotta ride it.
Hey, that was weird.
So I will see you when I pick up Akawar. I will also obviously be doing vlogs in between, but I will be doing another spoiler-filled vlog with my final thoughts on the trilogy when I read Akawar. I'm scared. I don't know what's going to happen. And that is a tome. Books are just getting bigger and bigger the longer this series goes on. Fun times. Stay happy, stay healthy, stay safe, and I'll see you all very soon.